Hi everybody, it's Claire from Handmade at Hudson's, and today's video is showing you how to make blended backgrounds to make some gorgeous cards using the Happiest of Birthdays stamp set. So here I have just got some examples using Gorgeous Grape, Bermuda Bay, and also Moneta Magnus, or however you say it. And on these two I have just stamped the greeting in the darkest colour, which is Gorgeous Grape, and on these two I have heat embossed onto my background, and I think that looks really rather cute. So I'm going to show you the three different ways. Making stripes, although that's not the best example this is, so I've been playing with this morning. Sideways colours, and also a dotty colour background. So what you will need to be able to make these cards are some pieces of white. So I have got some Whisper White, but they don't sell this anymore, so you could use basic white, or you could use any white that you have. And these are 1/4 of the sheet of A4, so I have simply cut them in half one way and then in half another. And the reason I have gone for this size is that I'm going to stick them onto a piece of paper to hold them down, and then I'm going to trim them into the size that I want. So the finished sizes are between 10 by 14 centimetres if you're using my metric, and I think my smallest piece might be about 8.5 by 12.5. But you can, it depends on what size layers you're using and how you're putting them together. I have got some card bases in whatever colours. So I have got card bases in Bermuda Bay, Moneta Magnus, and also in Gorgeous Grape, so that you can finish the card together. And then the other thing that I have got is ink blending tools. So none of these are Stampin' Up ones, these are smaller. And in fact, they're not the ones I'm using this one. So Stampin' Up ones are absolutely stunningly gorgeous. They are this big. I'm not sure whether they're back in stock or not yet. I have 3, and I adore them, and I will be adding them bit by bit to my orders so that I have a ink blender for most of the colour families. But at the moment I'm using the ones I've got. 2 are from Amazon, 1 is from Time to Tea. Don't really rate this one, if I'm honest, because it's a bit dry, but I will show you the problems with that in a minute. So I have got my colours here, and that's the wrong colour. I don't think that colour combination goes well, cinnamon cider. So I have got Gorgeous Grape, Bermuda Bay, and Moneta Madness, and I am going to move all this out of the way and bring in a piece of paper that I have been using all morning. So I have been playing with this today, as you can probably tell. So all I am going to do is to take one of my pieces of card, and I am actually going to take off the tape. So I am using the sticky tape from Crafter's Companion. There are different sticky tapes or repositionable tape on the market. So it's not normal sellotape, because that doesn't come up. It's low tack tape, I think. And then of course I've also got some purple tape which works as well, or you could use I've got a Make Art Staycation which works very well. Okay, so I've got my Bermuda Bay, and we're going for the diagonal first. I'm just going to ink up my ink, and then I'm going to just add colour really quickly. Either you can do it sideways, or you can do it in circles. I just want to get rid of any harsh lines, and then I'm taking off the excess. So if you don't take off the excess, you end up with some quite interesting colours which don't really match very well. So I'm just adding this colour all the way along. I want some in the middle, but not loads. Whoop, and I'm taking the tape off. Right, I think that'll do for my Bermuda Bay. Right, so we're going to go we're going to go the magneto. Oh, I don't know. One of the two. Okay, so again, I am inking up and then tapping off. And then I'm going to start this here, I think, to hide that line. And I'm just going to and then I'm just going to go again, try and get some pinky colour rather than the purpley colour that's here. And then again in the top corner. I want a pinky colour. And you can do whichever you want to. So I'm going to go back in with my Bermuda Bay. And I'm going to go round and round in circles. Try and get rid of those harsh lines. And then you just keep playing until you are happy with your colours. And then the last bit of this one is just to add some gorgeous grape in the corners. So I'm going to take some gorgeous grape, I'm going to knock it off, and then I'm just going to add it in the corners. So with this brush, because it doesn't blend amazingly well, it's a bit harsh. You do have to push down harder to get the colour to come off. And there we have our first card. So we've got vertical. So all we're really doing is building colour up and then adding the bits where you want it to go. And I think that looks really rather pretty. Okay, so the second one is horizontal or vertical. And I am going to speed this bit up. So you'll notice that I am tapping it off, blending it together, and then just playing and going back if I need to. So that's my second one finished. And then my last one, I'm just going to peel these off carefully. And then my last one is sort of a peacock pattern. So it looks a bit like this. So I thought I would show you how to make this. So again, I'm taping down my card. I don't want too much to be covered up. And then for this card, I'm going to take my Bermuda Bay, take off the excess, and I'm just going to add random circles of Bermuda Bay, and I don't like that, so I'm going to turn it over. And there are two sides to every piece of paper, and there are also other ways to use it. So you could use it as a scrap, you could use it as a background if you don't like it. So I'm going to add some random circles of Bermuda Bay in different places. On my card, and I think I'm going to add another one down here, so, but it might end up being cut off anyway. And then I'm going to take my magenta colour, and I'm going to colour around those bits of Bermuda Bay, which is says. So I'm going to go round in circles. Around those bits of magenta. I'm going to try and blend out any excessive amounts of ink. And then I'm going to add some little dots of gorgeous grape in the centre of the Bermuda Bay. And then I'm going to go back in with the pink, I think. There we have my last crazy background. I'm going to peel this off carefully so it doesn't go up too far. And then I'm going to cut these down. So I'm going to close these all up and take them out of the way. And then we're going to trim these down to make a card front. Take this out of the way. Okay, so I'm going to bring in my trimmer. And as you can tell, I have been playing with this today. And the first thing I'm going to do is trim it down, and I'm going to make this one, I think. So just that, take that off. Yeah. So we're going to make this 14 by 10. See if that works. So I just want all the white to be taken off. And that's fine. So I just want to get that a little bit over 10. And then I'm just going to take a smidgen off the other side as well. And then I can use that to stamp on. And then I've got the other two that I made earlier as well. So again, we're just cutting this down to 14. By 10. And you can make it a little bit smaller if you wanted to. So on this one I am leaving a ½ inch gap all the way around, but you could leave half a centimetre gap all the way around. No, I'm leaving ½ centimetre between one layer and the next layer. Now with this one, there's still white showing, so I'm going to make this one a 13.5 by, which bit don't I like? This side. A 13.5 by 9.5 card. So here I have my cards ready to go. So I think on this one I am just going to simply stamp. So all I've done is taken the Happiest of Birthdays stamp, or wishing you the happiest of birthdays, added it to a block, and I'm just going to grab my gorgeous grape, ink that up, and then stamp down. And then I'm going to add this to a card. So I will do that in a minute to the side. And then for one of these I am going to stamp gold, so I think I'm going to stamp on this one and I'll show you what you need to do. So I'm going to clean this off. So I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Scrub spray, some Stampin' Mist, and clean this down. Okay, so because we've just actually created this probably about 5-10 minutes ago, this ink might still be white, might still be wet. So I'm going to take my Stampin' Buddy, but any anti-static powder is fine. And I'm just going to make sure that there's no excess on the paper though, because it can affect the stamp. So I'm just going to take that off. And then I'm going to take my Versamark and I'm going to ink up my stamp. So you just want to make sure that it's in every single nook and cranny. And then I'm going to ink up so I'm going to bring in some scrap paper. So I've just got my bit out of my Stamparatus. I'm going to add some embossing powder. So this is just Stampin' Up gold embossing powder. Really dull, but it's really pretty. And as you can see, I've got some excess powder in places that I didn't want it, so around here. So first of all, you can try tapping it. That seems to work. And secondly, you can get some of the nail art brushes that you can find in Home Bargains or a cheap store and just make sure that it's all been removed. Now I'm going to heat that up with my heat tool and I shall be back in a second. So here I have heat emboss, sorry, I've heated it. So the heat embossing is looking really rather stunning. And for this one, I think I'm going to add it to, that looks really fab, some magenta, and I'm going to add some gold foil behind it. So I will show you in a second how I've finished these cards off. Okay, so I have finished putting my cards together and this is what I have done. So on the first card we did, I have heat embossed, as you saw, and then I have added it to a Bermuda Bay card base and then added some strips of gold foil. So these strips are 3 centimeters wide, and I think the mirror card that I use is, oh, it's about 4 inches. So I've just cut that into strips. And then for card number 2, I have cut it down to 9 centimeters across and then just stuck a piece of Gorgeous Grape on, which is 10.5 by 10.5, so it's just a square behind to give a different layer to the normal boring layers. And on the last card I have heat embossed in copper and then used copper foil as a base or layer, and I think that looks really pretty. And then on all the cards I have just stamped, oh no, I haven't got one on there, so I'll have to add one in, but I've just put Happy Birthday on a piece of white, and the Happy Birthday is from the piece of cake set which retired a while ago, which is this one. But I always pull it out because I love the Happy Birthday and I love the sentiments on here. So have a look through your stash and see if you've got any stamps that you could use. So all the measurements will be on my blog. If you have any questions, you can contact me. My email is claire@handmade@hudsons.co.uk. My blog is handmade@hudsons.co.uk. If you are new to my channel, please press the subscribe button and also ring the bell so that you are aware of when I post a video. So thank you very much for pressing play. Thank you very much for joining me. If you've got any questions, don't hesitate to contact me, and I hope to speak to you, and I hope that you join and watch another video soon. Bye.